What's up, everybody? Josh here from Toaster Chimp and ToasterChimp.com. I'm here with Allan Muir, Adnan Riaz, and Matt Mobley, and we're going to talk about Resident Evil specifically and how we think we could fix the franchise, because we all know 5 and 6 were not very good, right?
I disagree. I'm like Allan.
I'm like
Allan in this. I'm like Allan in this discussion where like everybody doesn't like, nobody likes 5 and 6, but I'm the one that's like, I liked it.
I didn't like. I didn't even bother with 6. I thought 5 was trash.
I played the demo 6 and gave up. And that's in a demo.
The controls were really weird to get used to, but I'm also a big fan of Leon, so I automatically liked it. But I was not a big fan of Jake's story.
I don't know. I just feel like they kept taking they took the series in this direction that like no one wanted it to go. And because it's like, okay, 4 came out, right? 4 was very different, and at the time it was amazing, and it inspired games like Gears of War and Dead Space, which were excellent games. Like some of the two of probably the best third-person games of last generation. At least shooter-wise, right?
Fuck you, man. Resident Evil 4 is still amazing. I played the game like it's got to be at least 20 times by now.
Man, I don't know, because I don't feel like it holds up.
Tank controls, man.
Yeah,
the fucking tank controls.
The controls are they're really bad. At the time, they were
archaic, but I still love them.
I mean, that's fine. That's fine, but I just feel like it was the halfway step to, games like Dead Space and Gears of War that actually control well. And then when you go, and now that we're so used to it, you try to go back to a game like Resident Evil 4, it's really hard. Like, that game doesn't really hold up in a contemporary setting. And it's really old.
Though, talk about Mikami and like a spiritual successor, the evil one pretty much perfects Resident Evil 4's gameplay. From a kind of removing the tank control thing and moving around and giving freedom, it felt more genuine. It's kind of the horror experience. Those tank controls made no sense. Like, yeah, here comes a guy with a chainsaw. I'll just stand still and reload my pistol. let him cut my head off. I don't think that's like. I think it's more of a kind of a, in hindsight, you want to change something like that in Resident Evil 4. It has withstood the test of time quite well, especially with kind of like the HD upgrades and stuff. But it kind of, that game, the biggest problem with that was, and mainly the biggest detraction from the horror genre and the survival horror genre specifically, was how you could buy ammunition from a dealer.
What are you just buying?
Yeah, you could buy ammunition. It was just like, it's survival horror.
Something that might interest you, stranger.
I wish you could just buy whiskey bottles. and get tanked in a forest somewhere. That's what I'd do. Fuck the president starter.
Did you guys ever see the what's their names? The Mega 64 video where the big dude is walking around as the weapon?
Yeah, I remember that video. Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that one. But
it was pretty funny. They kept like trying to kick him out of public places.
Oh no, I have seen that one. Yeah, I have seen that one. Never mind.
Still, the E3 videos are their best.
Yeah, the E3 videos are the best. Anyway, now that we're done advertising other YouTube channels, it's interesting because I think Resident Evil 1 is still a pretty good game, although I haven't played it in a really long time. Other than the
it's good.
Other than the stupid Crimson Heads, which I think kind of,
and the writing is atrocious.
The writing's really bad.
The writing, they take out more of the cheesier lines in the remake.
There's no Jill sandwiches anymore.
No Jill sandwiches anywhere.
There's Chris sandwiches.
You were almost a Jill sandwich. It's like,
no Master of Unlocking either. Yeah, but there is like a,
there is like a point. And there is in Revelations 2.
There is in Revelations 2, but in the
Could you imagine
the only cheesy line that kind of stays in the remake is I hope it's not Chris's blood.
It could be anybody's blood.
that sounds like an AIDS poster or something. I hope it's not Chris's blood.
I hope this isn't Chris's blood.
You're just in a train station. You look over at the wall. It's like, oh man, I hope it's not Chris's blood.
You're like, who?
They have to use the still of Chris from Resident Evil 5 where he's punching a boulder as a metaphor. That he's punching us away from disease.
He punches a boulder?
Yeah.
In a Resident Evil 5.
I never beat it.
Well, that's what I was making reference to at the beginning of this episode.
Oh.
Chris with his huge pecs punches a boulder.
That sounds really stupid.
Genuinely.
His arms aren't nearly as big in Resident Evil 6, so it's like he cooled off on the steroids.
Oh, so he lost mass. That's what you're saying.
He got caught out on steroid testing when making the game.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, if you got to that point, I don't know, like, you've already lost.
No, I got to some part where you're like near some water, and I was like, fuck this game. That was where I got to.
A real dick.
I just stopped caring. I was like, these controls suck. I don't care about any of this. I was like, I'm just gonna move
it's
on.
atrocious game. My fucking god.
Yeah.
You get hit once, Sheva starts spraying you with a spray.
Yeah. Here you go. You're like, damn it, stop.
It's like I've been nicked once by.
I've got a splinter. Let me use the ultra herbs on you. Fuck no, stop.
It's when you're playing with AI. You're playing with AI, and all she does is use the shock stick thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I got to the point where I took all her guns away and her herbs and gave her nothing because like you are useless. I'm gonna finish this game. Like just sit here.
That's what it is. Electric atomic.
Yeah. Well, anyway, back to what I was saying. I think the first game's like, you're in a house, right? You're just in this like mansion doing, I don't know, putting gems into the eyeballs of statues for some reason to like open a fireplace. And then the series kind of evolves where they're like, oh, now you're in the city and the city's being overrun. And Resident Evil 2 is like awesome, right? 'Cause you're in like the
Resident Evil 2 is a great game.
You're in like the police station. You're like going through the streets of like Raccoon City as it's being invaded and all this stuff, and it's just super cool. And then 3 I've actually never played, but it takes place at the same time, right?
Yeah, about the same time. Like
right.
Half of it's kind of before and half of it's after.
Okay. And then 4 is obviously like some weird secret agent shit, but
yeah, but there's also Code Veronica, which is over in what is it, France or some of it's I think in France and some of it's in Antarctica, I believe.
I don't even know. But the thing is, it's almost like people really look back fondly on the first 2 and then 0. People like 0 a lot.
I hate
Zero's pretty good, but it's kind of a pain in the ass.
It is hard. It's like really hard.
It's a 2-player game made for one person.
It is. Like, if that game had co-op, it'd be awesome. Like if you could have hooked 2 games. Like if they made that game today, it would be awesome. Everyone would love it because you can wander around together, fight all the bosses together.
One of the biggest injustices was when I found out that Resident Evil 5 was set in Africa and Billy Cohen wasn't the protagonist.
There's more wrong with that game, but I feel like they took the way I see it. I think Resident Evil needs to be rebooted into a contemporary title. Like, just start over again, start in the mansion, get rid of like all the dumb Jill Sandwich shit, get rid of all the like Master of Unlocking, all that stuff. Just and I know they've done that, but like actually rewrite the story, right? Like in a coherent manner. Actually hire a writer to
Josh's line. Hire a writer.
Hire a writer and get them to create like some sort of coherent story that's actually good, that has actual good dialogue. Don't make it like an over-the-shoulder shooter game, because that's not what the original Resident Evil was, and that's not what I feel that the mantra of the series should be. I feel like the series should be like, there's one zombie in this corridor. That's scary. I have to waste bullets on it or something. Or like maybe I'll need the bullets later. I don't know. That was what was cool about those games. It was like you're solving a problem. You weren't just like gunning down 20 people like, yeah, like take that, Umbrella. It's just like, I don't know.
I mean, it was why PT worked so well, because it was a puzzle game.
And the monsters weren't just constantly dropping ammo and health.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I don't get that part when they're dropping like, hey, here's some shotgun shells for killing me with a magnum. It's like
I'm so lucky that guy was holding that.
It's like when you're in a fantasy game and you kill a wolf and it has like gold on it. You're like, how did this happen?
It shits golden.
Yeah. I should have kept it alive.
In its pocket.
I should have kept it alive and just fed it if it shits gold.
No, yeah, I agree with that. I think it needs like the concept needs to be that, and then just like reboot it from like the ground up. I just don't think Capcom is the developer to do that.
No. I think Capcom should have nothing to do with it, to be honest.
Yeah, I think if anything, I think they should do what they're doing with like Street Fighter and go to Sony and become like a co-publisher and get one of their first parties to work on it or something.
Do you think Sony would try and get that? Because I honestly, to me, I don't know why I feel like this. I feel like Microsoft would want that more.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. There's something in they've been really hardcore about getting like, you know, titles.
Like
getting
Silent Hills for $1 billion.
Yeah, for $1 billion. Yeah, because that was real. Oh my god.
They got to kill some bears, get that gold.
Yeah, exactly.
Loot them.
I think Capcom needs to do what they did with DMC, like get a different developer to just do it, because they're not doing it justice. Same with Street Fighter. I mean now it seems like they're doing like okay, they're doing right by it, but they could be lying. You know, there could be like 50 different Street Fighter 5s by the time this generation's over. They say there won't be.
Earlier in the year, I went through the entire franchise all over again, like from 0 to 6 in chronological order. Even watched the animated movies and whatnot. And Resident Evil is like my third favorite franchise of all time, but yeah, it does get pretty crazy.
I think it's a little more than crazy.
It kind of loses its way.
Yeah.
The problem is it's never reinvented itself with horror. It didn't even reinvent itself with 4. It took like a completely massive leap in a different direction, to the point where when Mikami left again, Capcom were useless in trying to follow that on. They were just like, where should we even go with this? Because you put it in such an awkward place and it went too daylighty, if that makes sense, like with Resident Evil 5. But the game wasn't scary. It felt like more of an action shooter than anything.
Do you almost feel like 28 days later that franchise had a bad impact on Resident Evil? Because before that movie, zombies were always slow, always dumb, you know, and honestly better that way. And then after that movie, they turned into these like wild fucking. I mean, there's debate on whether those people in those movies are zombies, but they're like wild and they run and they're all crazy and fast, and then all of a sudden they're like, that's how we can evolve the Resident Evil franchise. Let's make all the zombies fast and stuff, and we'll have you like just gunning them down like it's nothing, you know. I feel like that's probably where it lost its way.
I think Dead Space took out a lot as well. The first Dead Space was just like an upgrade on Resident Evil.
Because it's a fantastic game.
Oh yeah, it's fucking great. Like that game was terrifying when I played. I was like, oh my fucking god! Like when you see one of those fucking creatures kill something behind a glass door, and you're like, oh my god!
Or like the first, or how about the first time like that big long tentacle shoots out of the wall and tries to drag it? I'm just like,
yeah. You just shoot your gun off everywhere.
Even the first elevator where you think you're safe for a second and then it starts coming through. Yeah.
You're like, oh no, no!
Because you don't have any guns, and you're just like, they're like, oh yeah, just like run, you know. Yeah. And then of course they do the like excellent Friday the 13th kind of thing where they're like, you're safe, you think you're safe, and then all of a sudden, blah, you're not safe. Like, it's fantastic. That's a game. That's what I mean. Like that game was totally inspired by Resident Evil 4. And there's like there's no doubt about it. And these are my two ideas for Resident Evil. I've spent a lot of time playing those games. I love them to death, and I love the characters. So I feel like
yeah, it should be rebooted, or it should maybe pass the torch. I think it should either be rebooted, but there needs to be a game to end the arcs of these characters, or there needs to be a transition game where they actually pass the torch.
Yeah.
And it kind of brings back the horror.
Correct me if I'm wrong, the first two take place in like 97, 98, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
98.
I'm gonna stick with my original thing. They should just remake the first one, but they should, modernize it. Like cell phones, like internet, like that whole thing. I know that sounds really fucking stupid, but what I'm saying is just like, make it more of a contemporary story. And like I said, hire a writer.
You can take a Jill selfie instead of having a Jill sandwich.
Yeah, exactly.
She got that fucking smartphone.
Yeah.
No, I just think what they need to do is like return back to more of a survival horror kind of aspect, in the sense that make it a bit more darker in terms of lighting. Don't do jump scares, and cheap jump scares never work, and the nostalgia.
You know what the problem was? The problem was that they had the opportunity to pass the torch in 6, with Piers, and then they killed Piers. Spoilers.
I don't think anyone cares.
No one cares now. No, but I mean, get the puzzles back. I think the puzzles were really kind of like unique for what it was. Not as stupid, but I mean, decent puzzles in there. It's kind of put into the.
I've never understood the puzzles. Okay.
Damn it. I'm starting to get pissed off again. I'm starting to get pissed off just thinking about it now.
Pissed off thinking about what?
Well, because like what I just said was like there's even a scene where Chris is like, Piers, I want you to take over. I'm too old for this. And then they kill Piers.
No, and they don't just kill him. They mutate him into some kind of monster.
Well, they definitely took the torch on, just in the wrong direction. Like Star Wars Episode 3.
Oh my god.
No.
But I was thinking about the puzzles, like you just said. The puzzles didn't make any sense. At least, like, in the second one, where it's like, I'm in the police station. Oh, I gotta put this crystal into that to open this secret passage in the police station. It's like, no, there's no way that Raccoon City Police Department would, like, their like, architect was fucking H.P. Lovecraft, okay? Like, there's no way that happened.
The whole time you're playing those games, you're just like, who the fuck builds this?
Yeah, who built all this? I could let you get away with it in the first one, as sort of like it's part of the atmosphere. The mansion is also kind of a character, and it has this like dark gothic / sci-fi side to it, Because when you first get in the mansion, you don't know there's a lab under there, You think it's just a mansion, so like all this weird kind of esoteric stuff you see is like normal, but then as you go on, you realize, oh, this was like a research facility. But like, it added to like the weird gothic nature of it to have like eyeball crystals and like, I gotta light this torch and now the door's unlocked, like weird stuff like that. Or like the ceiling coming down. What research facility has a ceiling coming down? Like, that's what I want to know, right? It's things like that. I mean, they don't really make sense. They're very video gamey. I would love to see somebody like try and actually take that core Resident Evil idea, like people going missing in the forest, SWAT team goes out to investigate, gets caught in this mansion, and then they uncover like what's in the mansion, but actually make it coherent and not as like weird and video gamey, I don't like a more serious tone. No Jill sandwiches.
I like Jill sandwiches.
I'd like to have more of those side stories, like in the forums that you find, the files. Like one of the best things that they added into the remake was Lisa Trevor, and you keep finding like files of John Trevor, her father. He built the mansion, and then when he finished, they locked him in a dungeon, and he died. But they took his wife and child and experimented on them, and the mother died, and she became deformed and grotesque. And you meet her, and she's like screaming and all that. It's pretty fucking. It's kind of like remember in The Last of Us when you kept finding all those files in the dam, and it was all about we got we hold ourselves up in here, and then somebody left a door open, and everything went to hell. So
Yeah.
I like those kind of touches.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting?
It makes me want to find collectibles.
Yeah, what's interesting is like RE1 had a lot of like those documents you could find with all those stories. I mean, if you just contemporize, I don't even know if that's a word. Contemporized? Made it more contemporary? How about that, okay? Freaking grammar Nazis.
We
they
need a writer for you.
Yeah, I know. They need to make the way they could make it more contemporary is instead of having like the documents, I mean, you could have like video files and stuff you find now. You could have audio diaries. Like there's that famous one where the guy is slowly turning into a zombie and he's like writing the diary. Can you imagine how much cooler that would be as like an audio diary instead of just a bunch of writings? You know?
Oh yeah.
Or,
the audio tapes are one of the big things about Dead Space that I did so well. You can just listen to them while
And BioShock.
And yeah, BioShock really did like make a big change as well.
It makes you really want. It's like I said, it makes you really want to get collectibles.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's what the weird part was though, because those audios are laying over and the game is still going, and anyone can come out of a fucking corner and hit you whilst you're listening to that tape.
Right.
It completely obliterates that sense of illusion where you're safe. That's what kind of Resident Evil lost when it got to like 4. When it got to 5, because it was just like you don't feel safe. Like you felt safe just picking up something, and you like had a shotgun, you had another partner watching your back. It kind of gets rid of that illusion of what horror is. You're on your own. You're a lone ranger.
Yeah.
Having a partner there is just a bit.
You all split up for some reason.
Yeah, exactly. The universal cliche that starts the story. Like, we'll go and split up.
Let's go split up and look for Barry and never find him.
Yeah, where the fuck is Barry? That's been bugging me for years.
Let's just fucking lose everyone.
This is why they need a writer.
Yeah.
Seriously. Okay. For those who don't know, because this has been bugging me for years, when you play as Jill, they're like, oh, there's only 4 of us left. There's me and Wesker and Barry. We don't know where Chris is. But when you play as... And then you eventually find Chris. But when you play as Chris, they're like, there's only 4 of us left. There's only me, Jill, and Wesker. But we don't know where Barry is. And you never find Barry. Chris is too busy dealing with the bitches like Jill and Rebecca. He's just like, oh, I got one on each arm. I'm going to have a good time tonight. He forgets about his whole fucking army buddy, Barry, over there.
Wesker needs to stop coming back to life with Dragon Ball Z powers.
Well,
I'm sorry.
He's dead now.
They wasted him so badly in Resident Evil 5. They had a great fight scene where it sets it up. Where you have the main fight with Wesker, and the final fight is just the most atrocious thing. That's when Chris punches the boulder. It was when he starts punching the boulder. At that point, I was like, I don't know how I made it to the end of this game, but I need to see what happens next. It's just so fucking bad.
Yeah.
They killed off the worst possible way.
In the last 3 games, like if you're going chronologically, it's 5, Revelations 2, and then 6. They kill Wesker's sister, and then they introduce Wesker's son.
He also has Dragon Ball Z powers.
Actually does.
He is Goku. He just transforms into
Goku. I've got the TPZD virus in my veins, and we're gonna.
Oh, dog! It was very simple. It was the C virus.
You just see the Chris posters around.
TPCDB virus. CZBB9426. That's the virus I have.
They need a good fucking villain as well. Like, I think one of my favourite things was Resident Evil 4 where the Nemesis was fucking chasing you around. That was scary as fuck.
Stars.
This big fucker is just chasing you down. I also love how...
That was 3.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I had Resident Evil 3. But I like how Resident Evil 1 had the fight with the snake. And how you can and you can run away from it, or you don't have to necessarily kill it. I think you can do that, can't you? Am I right?
I don't remember. I know that there's the giant plant monster that you can...
There's a plant monster in every game.
Yeah, but there's the plant monster you can just poison, right? You don't have to fight it. Something like that.
Well, whilst you're doing some fucking jewel puzzle.
Yeah, it's like bring the fucking 9 jewels of the 7 gods to this like computer terminal. I don't know why there's 9 jewels and only 7 gods, but you know, I didn't write the game. And then you bring them to the computer terminal, it pops out some plant poison, and then you go give it to the plant, and it's like, and then you don't have to fight it.
Wesker's doing some weird fucking shit in this mansion. Most people just throw a house party. He's fucking going creating genetic viruses.
Yeah. Oh man. Anyway,
no, but I do like. I think they should take it to like. I think like one of the great ones was like Outlast. Kind of a recent example, like how it sets it up and you break into the asylum and just like when you're in that asylum, you're like, fuck me. That game was scary as fuck.
I didn't even play it.
It went on for too long, as most horror games do. It just went on for too long.
Yeah. I liked it for the most part, but it did go on too long.
Do you know when you go into that underground laboratory, it turns into a David Cage story? I was like, I'm done. I'm done.
The ending ruined it, honestly.
I was like, there's only David Cage can be David Cage. Stop being David Cage. Already, at this point in the horror story, it's like,
it was actually pretty interesting.
It got interesting to the point where he's on the cross, and then it goes downhill from there and there and there. But yeah, you need to keep it kind of concise, get a good villain, a very clear-cut story, purpose behind the characters. I mean, like, go and watch a Wes Craven film if you want a good horror concept. To establish, because I think just most of them fail to do that. But I feel like, you know, there's a lot of examples where horror's not dead. PT's a great one, that, and Outlast and stuff like that. I just think you need to make it more survival horror than actual horror game, because I think Evil Within does that really well, where you literally are, like, scarce on everything. And it even has a good idea with the upgrading system in that. I think that definitely they should keep the weapon upgrade system. I even loved Leon's little suitcase that you had. You could, like, shape all the weapons into it.
The attaché case.
Yeah, the attaché case.
God.
Say that most of my attaché case would just be like Rocket League games. Whiskey bottles.
It's just a ball in a car.
I mean, that would be a good idea for them to reinvent Resident Evil. Rocket League, Resident Evil. And then when like you blow Jill up, it's a Jill sandwich.
Oh. No.
I just want everything to be Rocket League.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't play much. But I think the other thing is to keep. Yeah, I need my fix. I need my fix. I also don't think Mikami should come back either. Mikami's done with that.
Yeah, it's like I'm tired of this. Anyway, any closing thoughts? I know it seems like everybody here wants a reboot.
Take it away from Capcom.
Even I do, but I think I'd honestly like prefer a passing of the torch, just like a way to close out like the old generation stories, because like if you actually follow them, like Chris is almost 50 fucking years old. He's like 45 years old. Leon's like a couple of years younger than him. I think he's like 43, but still like
that 90s haircut.
You can see Leon
so,
is like a carbon copy of Dante. Like, it's just the way he acts and stuff in Resident Evil 4. Like, my god.
They should end their story, pass the torch, and get some new blood in there, and bring the horror back.
That's what I'm saying. Anyway, that's going to be it. Stay tuned for the outro. Relevant links in the description. What do you guys think? Should there be a reboot of the Resident Evil franchise? Let us know in the comments. Alrighty, bye.